Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, I want you to stop and ask yourself something right now. Have you ever wondered exactly how much of your professional life, your salary, your job titles, your start dates, is just floating around in the digital ether? Today, we are going to crack open the digital vault holding all that professional data. We're going to walk through exactly how you can access your own employment report step by step, and the best part? It is completely, absolutely free.
Seriously, think about this for a second. Who really knows your salary history? Did you know that when you apply for a new job or try to get a mortgage, or even just sign a lease for a new apartment, there is this massive automated database secretly sharing your employment and income history entirely in the background? Look, most people have absolutely no idea this system even exists, let alone what it's whispering about them behind closed doors. But today, we're changing that.
All right, here is our quick roadmap for today. 1. Meet the work number. 2. Get your free report. 3. Fixing errors and freezing. 4. Benefits and privacy limits. 5. Answering your FAQs. And 6. The final takeaway. Let's just dive right in.
Section 1. Meet the work number, the database tracking your career.
So, the big name you need to know here is the work number. Now, you might not recognize that specific name, but you definitely know its parent company. The work number is actually a wholly owned subsidiary of Equifax. Yeah, one of the major credit bureaus. Essentially, it's this giant centralized commercial repository. It collects and stores your employment and income data directly from your employers and payroll providers, and get this, it updates every single pay period.
So who's actually snooping around in this data? Well, instead of picking up the phone and calling your HR department to verify that you actually work there or check how much you make, lenders and screeners just bypass all that. They simply log into this system to instantly verify your history. We're talking mortgage and auto lenders, property managers checking your apartment application, pre-employment background screeners, and even government agencies confirming eligibility for social services. They all rely heavily on this.
And the sheer scale of this operation, it is honestly staggering. Over 823 million employee records. That is how many files are sitting in this database right now. It pulls data from thousands of large and small employers across the whole country. Honestly, if you've ever had a job with a company that uses a major payroll provider, your data is almost certainly sitting in here.
Moving to Section 2. Get your free report, the Employment Data Report.
Okay, here is the absolute most important takeaway. Because this system is governed by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, obtaining your complete file disclosure won't cost you a single penny. It is completely free. This file is formally called your Employment Data Report, or EDR for short. By law, you have the right to total transparency. That means you get to see every retained record they have on you, plus a detailed registry of every single company or person who has accessed or even just attempted to access your info over the past 2 years.
So, let's talk actionable steps. Here is exactly how you claim your file. First, just pop open your browser and go straight to employees.theworknumber.com. Second, click on Register Now to create a new account. The system will walk you through a few prompts to verify your identity, to make sure it's actually you and keep your account secure. And then finally, just navigate over to the Employment Data Report tab and download the whole thing directly to your device. It's totally automated, so you can do this at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday if you want.
Now, quick side note. If you've tried doing this in the past and got super frustrated, I have some incredible news. This is a massive update. As of October 2025, you no longer have to hunt down some confusing top-secret employer code just to register. In the old days, you actually had to email your HR department and ask for a specific company code to log in, which was just a headache. Now, the whole process is incredibly seamless. You literally just need your email, a new password, and multi-factor authentication. That's it.
All right, on to Section 3. Fixing errors and freezing, protecting your profile.
So what happens if you pull this report and realize, wait, that's not right? If you spot an error, you definitely don't have to just live with it. You can immediately file a data dispute directly through the portal's dispute center. You're going to want to provide some supporting documentation, things like W-2s, a formal offer letter, or your recent pay stubs. Under the law, Equifax has to investigate and then correct or delete any unverifiable or inaccurate info, and they usually get it done within 30 days. Now, when it comes to sharing your data securely, there's a neat little feature you should know about. Sometimes, a verifier needs explicit, direct permission from you to access your income data. For that, you can generate what's called a salary key. Think of it like a temporary VIP pass. It's a single-use, 6-digit code that puts the power of consent directly in your hands. You just generate it on the site, hand it to the person who needs it, and boom, it automatically expires after 90 days. Equifax says it's needed less than 1% of the time, but it's a fantastic tool to have in your back pocket. But hey, what if you don't want anyone seeing your data at all? Well, here is your ultimate trump card, the data freeze. If you want absolute total privacy, you have the right to completely freeze your data from all verifiers. You can easily do this online by just clicking the Data Freeze tab, or you can call their client service center at 866-222-5880. And yes, you can unfreeze it just as quickly when you're finally ready to apply for that new loan or land that new job.
Section 4. Benefits and privacy limits. Balancing convenience and security.
Let's take a second to bust a major myth. There's this fiction floating around that anyone, like your nosy neighbor or that highly competitive coworker, can just log in and snoop on your salary. The fact? That is completely false. Your data is heavily restricted. Only credentialed verifiers who have gone through a rigorous vetting process and have a legally defined permissible purpose, as stated by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, can actually pull your file.
And look, there are actually some really great advantages to this system for you, the employee. The main perk is speed and discretion. Because it's fully automated 24/7, you can get approved for that dream apartment lease on a Sunday afternoon without having to wait for your HR manager to return a phone call on Monday morning. Plus, it's super discreet. If you're job hunting, a potential employer can verify your past experience without accidentally tipping off your current boss. Game changer, right?
Okay, Section 5, FAQs, clearing up common questions.
One of the most common questions we see is this: does a standard background check automatically reveal my past jobs and salaries to a new employer? Like, if an employer is just running a basic criminal background check, are they suddenly seeing my entire resume history too?
Well, the honest answer is yes, they often do. While a standard criminal check is just looking for legal infractions, a comprehensive pre-employment background check almost always pairs up with services exactly like the Work Number. They use it to instantly verify your start dates, your end dates, and your job titles against exactly what you wrote on your resume. This is exactly why checking your own report for accuracy is absolutely vital before you start sending out job applications.
Finally, Section 6, the final takeaway, conclusion and call to action.
I want to leave you with this really powerful concept straight from the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You have the right to know what is in your file. Honestly, your professional footprint belongs to you. You're the one who put in the hard work. You grinded out the hours, and you earned that salary history. You absolutely deserve to know exactly what is being reported about you to the outside world. Now, just a quick reminder before we wrap up. This explainer serves purely as an educational guide. System interfaces and legal regulations update all the time, so always make sure to verify your specific details independently on the official Equifax website or consult a legal or financial professional if your situation is particularly complex. So, I'm going to leave you with a final thought to hopefully spark a little bit of action today. When are you going to take just 10 minutes to log in and make sure your career data is accurate? The tools are completely free, the new login process is incredibly easy, and your privacy is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and seriously, I highly encourage you to go secure your digital vault today.